You dropped it. Can you get it? Did you lose it? Get it! Go get it!
slide as well. And I guess I kind of engaged a little bit and got a little emotionally involved, but kind of standoffish as well. But what had happened in that midst was I had to drop my airbags to slide my fifth wheel, and I successfully slid my fifth wheel, and dispatch is basically complaining, "Why'd you have to slide your fifth wheel for? Blah, 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 blah. Don't you know that didn't have to blah, 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 blah." It's like, get off my back! Had to slide my fifth wheel because I didn't slide it back from the last trailer. Don't you guys get that stuff? Yeah, the loads are accommodated by the pin depth, but you don't take in consideration that we have to slide our fifth wheels and then we have to slide them back. I had to slide it back. That's why I had to slide my fifth wheel. Yeah. What did you have to slide your fifth wheel for? God grief. So anyways, as I'm sliding my fifth wheel, I didn't lock it back into place. So since I'm all irritated about the crap that Liz was saying on the phone, when I went to shove off and head to where I was supposed to go, I think it was supposed to be the warehouse or something like that in Tacoma, I yanked it right off the back, so I dropped my trailer with my fifth wheel attached. I was like, well, crap, haven't done that one yet. Of course, I probably could have just lowered my landing gear, dropped my airbags, and slid right underneath it. I called the shop. I had to put up with Thor's roughness. I had to put up with Scott's roughness. He comes out of his shop vehicle, and I'm trying to make the situation lighter than what it is, because, you know, it's a crappy situation. And I addressed him, I said, "Bet you never had anything like this before," and he took it off as me trying to fight. Come on now, buddy. I'm trying to, you know, make the best of the situation. I think he was wanting to fight when he was coming down here. He wanted to give him a rookie crap, even though I already have a year underneath my belt. So, you know, that wasn't cool at all. And then he came out of his truck. He's like, said something like, "How long have you been driving truck for?" I respond with, "Well, it's been about a week, but I'm getting better." Just the response I had to spot on, you know, that stuff like that just doesn't happen. I said, look, you want to know what I was doing? Why this happened? I was talking to the ex-wife, and she was chewing my ear off, complaining about our kids. Made me completely forget about double-checking my work, so that's why I dropped this trailer with the fifth wheel attached. He kind of backed off at that point because I was basically yelling at him. He said, you know, I can relate to you. I got an ex-wife too, and she has done some serious crap to me as well. So at that, the emotions are down. I'm thinking, right on, man. We have something to relate about now. He started telling me this story about one time his ex-wife was chewing his ear off on his way home from Port Townsend or wherever he was, and he stopped off there at Disco Bay, threw his cell phone on the ground, still connected to the call, went out, took a leak, walked around a little bit, and in the meantime, the stator pulled up, put his lights on, said, hey, you, get over here. I want to talk to you. So Scott walks over there. He's like, what are you doing? And then he starts saying, you see that cell phone there? You hear what? I said, yeah, that's my ex-wife. She wants to bitch about everything and anything. So the stator looks at him and he says, give me your phone. So Scott hands over the stator his phone. The stator looks at his phone and presses the end button. He started saying, son, there's a few things in life you need to know. One, you don't put up with crap like that. And two, well, I don't know what number two is, but it must have not been important. So, you know, after that point there, it was just like, you know, man, I'm sorry about the crap that I said when you're coming out. I wasn't trying to be a dick or nothing like that. I was just trying to make light of the situation. But, you know, dealing with ex-wives, that stuff is stressful as hell, you know? Alright, I'm going to talk about Leroy King here for a little bit. And the crap that happened there. I just got off the phone with Jake. He gave me some very awesome news about Leroy King Jr. So, probably, well, close to my rookie year, I don't know, in between or something like that, I met Leroy King Jr. there at the office at Pepsi Tumwater. And immediately I could tell that he was a dick just by how he presented himself and how he spoke, his negativity, and it reminded me a lot of Liz. So, you know, instantly I was getting those vibes, but I was still on rookie mode, trying to get as much as I can from senior drivers as I could, and you know, asking for advice and stuff like that, how to, you know, be a good driver or whatnot, or do the job well. And with Leroy, he wanted to do none of that. He's like, you expect me to educate a rookie? Well, you got something to you there. I ain't gonna do none of that. So instantly, there's that attitude. And a few months later, let's see what happens from there. You know, I friend him on Facebook because, you know, why not? New workspace. Might as well make friends in the workspace. And I'm doing this rookie thing, going over the road as a regional driver. And of course, I'm having fun with it, and I'm having fun with the job, and I'm letting everyone know that I'm having fun with the job, eating all these truck stop chicken strips and buying all these souvenirs. And he wants to tell me what's up. You know, he gets there on my Facebook account, he starts, you know, being a complete jerk about things and everything. Oh, I remember what it was. I put something there on Facebook saying, you haven't been a real trucker till you get fifth wheel grease all over everything you own. He pretty much chastised me there, and if you're getting fifth wheel grease on everything you own, then you're doing something wrong, and you're just a horrible person. You're a rookie, still wet behind the ears, and this and that and everything else. Okay, that's not cool. That's not cool. So, you know, I don't delete them off my friends list or nothing like that. I let it go. But basically, another flirt with me, you better watch out there. Doing crap like that. Of course, that pisses him off more. And, a few more months go by. And finally, I called Mike Hermann and it's like, I'm not going to put up with this stuff, Mike. He's harassing me. He's, telling people crap that's not true. There was, what was his name? The dude in 937. I forget his name. His name's not important, I guess. So he's text messaged me, the driver in 937 that doesn't work for the Hermans no more. And he's saying that Leroy told him something that DTG there in Woodinville, that a driver got a sexual harassment charge on them, and he was asking if it was me, and that Leroy was telling him that I was sexually harassing the clerk there at DTG Woodinville. Of course, I was like, that ain't true. Of course, I'll flirt with him, call him hon or love or whatnot else, and be flirtatious that way, because I'm single. I can't. Why not? What I didn't know is the dude in 937 and Leroy were tight. So they were starting crap with me just because. Just because they wanted crap to go on. Some drama or something like that. I thought I was buddies with the dude in 937. No, that was far from the truth right there. So they're starting crap. He would say something to me, and then I'd flip out. Well, not really flip out, but call Mike and be like, I ain't gonna put up with this crap. So, that was a big mess of things, and that was something that really shouldn't have happened on either ends, really. So, come down to it a few months back, I think it might have been July. I had another one of those things, actually, conversation before of all that crap where I'm basically, flipping crap back to Leroy. You better not do that. People are going to think that you're flirting with me. I posted all that on the Say No to Bonehead Truckers Facebook group created by Ike Stevens. So I posted all that because I had him blocked at the time, and everyone's having a grand old time laughing about how much of an idiot Leroy is. Of course, there's my comments about chicken strips in there too. So that made the conversation even better because chicken strips were, awesome like that. So, what did Jake tell me? Jake told me that Leroy got fired because he got a DUI about 2 weeks ago. That puts a smile on my face. I am so freaking happy. Of course, it's that's gossip. But considering the source, I'm pretty sure it's factual. And I am so freaking excited and happy that that situation is done. It goes to show you want to be a dick, then I don't really have to do much of anything at all. God will work his wonders.
Last Thursday, October 20th, I had my interview for Public Works in Mason County. At the end of the interview, I asked them when I'd be able to hear back from them, and they told me that I would be getting a phone call within the next few days. That following day, Friday, October 21st, I received a phone call from Human Resources early in the day informing me that Public Works would like to extend to me a conditional offer of an employment pending my drug screening and reference check. The thing is, though, I had put Mike Hermann down as a reference. That could have been good or bad. When I walked into Human Resources this morning to collect my drug screen paperwork, they did congratulate me and welcome me aboard. So that tells me that my references did check out. Unfortunately, I was not able to complete my drug screening today due to the fact that the hospital was all booked up. So I made an appointment for Friday. I checked in with dispatch afterwards, sending them a text message letting them know that my appointment had been rescheduled for Friday, as well as I'm available for detail. I have not heard back from dispatch at this point. I've been sitting in the truck for a good 2.5 hours maybe, moving out and getting the truck ready to go back to the Hermann Brothers yard. I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow's schedule. I could very well just be terminated at this point. If that's the case, then that kind of tells me the direction that the company is headed, and it's not really something that I want to be a part of at this point. Personally, I would rather just give my 2 weeks with the company, finish out my 2 weeks, and start with the county. If Mike doesn't want my 2 weeks and I am terminated at this point, then I have no other option other than to call the county and see if they can start me earlier than expected. Personally, to me, it just seems like bad business if this is honestly the approach that's being taken. I really don't know, but I will find out at 4 o'clock today when tomorrow's schedule is released. Today is November 11th, and it was my last day with the Hermann Brothers today. I wanted to talk about this a little bit, and as far as October 24th, when I didn't know if I'd be on the following day's schedule. Well, the schedule was released at 4 o'clock, and I in fact was on the schedule. So I have no idea why dispatch ghosted me the rest of that day, but I do know that it gave me the opportunity to move out of the truck so that it would be less stressful on my last day. I had a lot of stuff in there. I accumulated a lot of stuff within the year that I was in that truck. And only having the essential items that I needed to finish off my time there, it was still a lot of stuff. And I tell you, it was still stressful today, regardless. But I'll get into that in a moment. Mike said he never received my 2 weeks notice, despite the fact that I had, in fact, sent it up there. I don't know why. I gave enough time, but it was lost. That was on November 7th when I had to send dispatch, or Mike in the dispatch group, a text message basically saying, "Did you receive my notice that I'm leaving?" And the answer that it got lost. Come on. Ultimately, my decision here is based on the fact that the situation with Leroy King was not handled well. Back when I was in training, when I was sharing issues that were going on with Jim Rutt, Jason told me, don't let things fester. Talk to us about these things. So when I open up about stuff that's going on with a fellow driver, that I'm being harassed, and I basically get told that I'm going to get fired because it's not dispatch's problem? Well, come on. I'm being open here. Guys, there's an issue. I've tried handling it on my own. I can't solve it. Now I'm handing it to you. And the response that I get from Mike is, if I hear any more about this tonight, then I'm going to be looking for 2 new drivers to fill seats. Mike, you got what you were looking for. You got 2 new seats to fill. But one is from a driver that got a DUI and a hit and run, probably felony. And the second is a county worker now, driving for the county. And on top of that there, with the stuff that Leroy was telling the shop, bad-mouthing me, tainting my name to where the mechanics wouldn't even work on my truck. Do you know how long it took them to finally fix my air conditioning? I was sitting in Moses Lake in the middle of August in 115-degree weather, my cat's panting, just because the shop doesn't want to fix my truck. That's not right, Mike. There's been so many issues with the truck, and I voiced myself, and nothing got done about it. That day that I came back from Wenatchee, when I had a chain up, and it was my first time chaining up, and I put the trig chains on my trailer, which I didn't know wasn't allowed, and I ended up leaving my chains on for too long, and it took my mud flap off.
And then I come back to the shop to get new chains, and I don't know how to distinguish the difference between, or voice the difference between a 3-rail or a double. They're both the same. Double is what truckers say. 3-rail is what the shop says. They're the same damn thing. So for me to get picked on because I don't know the terminology because I'm a rookie? Come on! The truck should have been fixed. That time that I came into the shop the last time for the wet service, and I checked in with the shop and I let Jim know that I was there for wet service, and then I'm waiting in the driver lounge, and then after my truck's done, Jim walks into the driver lounge and he starts talking to Sean. He starts telling him that Sean needs to talk to me and basically tell me that I'm a bad trucker, that I don't do my pre-trip and a whole bunch of other stuff. Sean told him, hey, he's sitting right over there, you go tell him himself. So Jim comes over there and, what do I do? Thank you. Is my truck done? And that's another thing too. Why aren't we informed when the truck is finished? There's been times where I've been sitting there an hour after, or maybe even more, after my truck's done, and the shop's all like, yeah, it's been done for a while. Why didn't you tell me? I've been sitting in the lounge all this time. Come tell me. Or have the mechanic come tell me. I got stuff I need to do. I got jobs I need to get done. And I'm wasting time there sitting in the employee lounge because they don't want to send me a text message, even though I write my phone number on the pink slip. Or just walk to the office and let me know that my truck's done. Somehow, this should be changed. I'm not the only driver that's voiced this concern. Other drivers I've talked to said that the shop has an attitude. The mechanics have an attitude. Why do they have an attitude? Why is stuff not getting done? I write it up, I send the text messages. People know that stuff needs to get done. Why is it not getting done? Why? Excuse me. But I don't want to talk all about the negative. I want to talk about some of the good about the job too. I enjoyed the job. I enjoyed stepping into my new career. Thank you for bringing me into the trucking community at Hermann Brothers. I am thankful for that. I enjoyed the long runs. I enjoyed being trained. And when I was being trained running chips, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed being in the ports for my first 6 months, 8 months, however long that was. I enjoyed being regional, but to a point, it just, the newness wears off, and I just want to go home. And yes, I know I probably could have talked to you and said, Mike, can you put me back in the ports, or can you have me only run Pepsi's, local Pepsi's to Everett and Auburn? But Mike, there's still the fact, the situation with Leroy King. Even if I was in the ports, or even if I was running Pepsi's locally, there's still a situation that we had with Leroy. And my aggravation about how it was handled and being threatened to be fired. Despite the fact that I had already said, if this isn't handled, that I'll leave the company. I'm voicing my concern that I can't move on knowing this is going on. Stop. He's excited to be home too. I couldn't move forward knowing that all that would happen. Even the fact that Leroy did get fired for DUI, I couldn't move on with the company knowing how it was handled. And ultimately, the county, it's a good job. Union, benefits, all holidays off. Yeah, I know I could have all the holidays off of the Hermans, but there's still the fact that my main paycheck is the overtime, and I'm just working for the overtime. And I know it would have been better later on, raises and da-da-da-da, but how the situation with Leroy King was handled, I am not okay with. And I was not going to move forward in the company after that happened. That's why I started looking for work. I know that you got several calls for references from me. CRST, Knight, and Mason County. And then there's probably others as well. But I will miss the job. I will miss the long runs. I will miss the port work. I'll miss hanging out with my buddy all day, my cat. I'll miss seeing him on my dash and him greeting me when I go to drop a trailer and I've only been gone for less than 5 minutes and he's sitting there on my driver's chair going, meow, 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 I missed you. Yeah, I know, buddy, I missed you too. Even though it's been less than 5 minutes. I miss the fact that he'll walk up and sit on my lap while I'm driving. I can sit there and pet him, and he'll cuddle up in the back with me when it's cold out, and we'll keep each other warm. I'll miss all that stuff. I'll miss the friends that I've made there. Wade, Jake, Blake, Fred, which he's a different company now. I'll miss you, Mike. I'll miss seeing your face. I'll miss talking to you. I'll miss talking to Jason and Tyler. I'll miss you guys. I'll miss Hermann Brothers. But I'm not okay with how things were handled with Leroy King, Mike. I'm not okay with how the shop treated me, Mike. I'm not okay with how the mechanics treated me, Mike. That's why I'm leaving. That's why I'm leaving.
Breaker 19, can I get a radio check? Channel 19, radio check.
Radio working good tonight, yeah.
Copy that, thank you, driver.